Oh boy. I had absolutely no idea how to feel about the Dead Man's Hand after watching it, but I settled down a bit. I gave it some time. I didn't want to give in to my immediate reaction, so after hitting the gym and letting it stew for a bit, I still gotta say that episode was a bit of a letdown. Oh, it hurts. It hurts to say. But before I get into that, I have a lot of thoughts and questions left about Apocalypse. And I said this in one of my previous videos. As chopped as En Sabanur became with the celestial tech, it's nice to see that Gambit won't be looking like a clown. I gotta give Apocalypse a little bit of props here. He really could have been a hater and had Gambit as chopped as him. But even Apocalypse knows a bad bitch. And Remy is a bad bitch. So with that thought, I kinda understand taking Gambit's body to use as a vessel. Hold on, let me cook for a bit. I know it's gonna sound stupid, but hear me out. I'm guessing Gambit's will has been fighting or suppressing Apocalypse from taking completely over. At this point, I'm convinced there were many other avenues that Apocalypse could have chosen, but instead, for some reason, he decided to pick Gambit as his vessel. He chose to dig up my guy's grave, resurrect him, be inside of him, yet Gambit seemingly has some level of control. It's either that or Apocalypse actually is a solid actor. But aside from being petty, there really aren't any perks of Apocalypse using Gambit as a vessel, besides Rogue. I mean, that is a pretty good perk, right? Obviously, there has to be more to his plan, or else I was right with Apocalypse seeing Remy as a bad bitch and just wanting to be that bad bitch. So he chose to cosplay as Remy. This has become my headcanon reasoning. If Apocalypse truly did fall in love with Kandra, and God, I truly can't imagine this thing finding love or being distracted by it, but who better to be than the man who has already been with her? Yeah, once upon a time, Gambit used to be her lover. This would mean that Apocalypse has been playing 4D chess this entire time. Apocalypse knows that Kandra might fancy Remy more, so he wears Remy's skin to woo her, but... No, I'm just talking out of my ass now. This isn't the comics. The show and the comics are different. I have no idea what we're gonna do moving forward. I'm lost as fuck. Maybe Gambit really did fight Apocalypse, and somehow had Apocalypse on the ropes and then forced him to play his trap card, and put his mind in Remy's body. Either that or Apocalypse has been acting his ass off. I have no idea at this point. Also, it's been a while, so I completely forgot about Kandra. In fact, when we see her in the past with Kang, I didn't even know that was her. I'm more used to her comic design here. Okay, before I get into the negatives, there are some positives from this episode, right? It wasn't that bad. We have Rogue looking amazing in this dress. We got Storm with that shit on. Nightcrawler was putting in a bunch of work this episode. I like it when a teleporter just goes all out and just fucks everyone up with ease. Gambit's powers looked absolutely amazing. It was also nice seeing how Xavier was helpful this episode and he wasn't slumped over on the floor by the end of it. And... did I mention that Rogue looked absolutely amazing? Okay, look, I did not hate this episode because I still watched it on the edge of my seat concerned for Gambit and Rogue like how I imagine people who watch Love Island or any other reality TV show when their favorite couple is facing some turmoil. But this episode honestly felt like it needed another 2 episodes to flesh things out. But in a 9-episode season, we were never gonna get that. They really brought my boy back and delivered this episode. Man, there's no way they did this to my guy. Not after the way he went out in season 1. This is seriously how you honor his return? No. Wolverine getting his adamantium back as fast as he did? Hey, fuck it. I can overlook that because of the sheer volume of Wolverine media that we've gotten these past decades. But I will not tolerate Gambit being done dirty like this. He and Rogue are off limits. I will stand on this 10 toes down. I glazed season 1 like a blind fanboy, and I wanted to glaze season 2 just as much. But the second half of season 2, while I can still enjoy it, the episodes don't feel as cohesive. The 90s animated show moved like 100 miles a minute, and this show has adopted the same trait. But for some reason, this show, specifically with this season, feels as if they're cramming so much shit into it that I can't enjoy it as much as I feel like I should. Gambit was barely in his Horseman of Death phase. Like, where is my mutant soap opera? I genuinely live for that shit, man. But for some reason, it's not here. There's not enough time for them to deliver. My guy couldn't even rock out and fuck shit up for the entire duration of an episode? This seriously hurts my soul. I'm not trying to overreact, but God. Again, I didn't completely dislike the episode because I was still able to enjoy parts of it, like Gambit going back home and then you see the assassins and the thieves, and the whole ritual with them summoning Kandra just like the Z-Fighter summoning Shenron. But, this episode felt like it should have been so much better. Also, with how this was set up like a marriage, Gambit having his ex-wife kinda play the role of a priest is kinda funny, and Rogue being there is just cool with it. Like, yeah, let's have your ex-wife marry us. Also, the power that Apocalypse had given Kandra. With Remy obtaining that and shoving that shit inside Rogue, what's gonna happen to her now? Is she just gonna be immortal, or is Apocalypse having something at play? Gut feeling, but if I was a betting man, the last episode of Season 2 is gonna be more of a setup for Season 3 than it will be as a proper season finale. I could be wrong there. In fact, I want to be wrong, but the pace feels like we're speedrunning shit to get what the writers really want to cover. I know I sound like a broken record, but this show desperately needs more episodes a season. They stuff episodes like how my mom stuffed suitcases. I'm not gonna get into all the behind the scenes drama that happened before season 1 even dropped, but hopefully moving forward, we're gonna get a more cohesive story. I genuinely don't believe we're gonna be done with Apocalypse. He still might be around for season 3 at this point.